Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to go through one of the easiest mistakes people make when they start trading meme coins. And it's something friends have done. It's something people have done on the Discord. So I wanted to make a quick video that can make sure that you don't make this mistake when you start out, especially if you have a small portfolio. And that means a small balance or a small amount to play with, especially if you're under one sol, like this account, like the account that I have topped up now. And let's get into it. It's something really simple. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that's using the affiliate link down below. If you haven't signed up to Axiom, make sure to use my link down below. You save 10% on all of the fees. I also earn a small amount when you start using it. So I really appreciate everyone that does use it. But let's get into it. So, first of all, when you're trading, you'll go to your pulse, obviously, and let's click into a random coin. Let's go to Froge, for example. So, when we're looking at Froge, a huge mistake people are making, especially when they're starting out, is they're using the default settings when it comes to buying and selling meme coins. And what happens is you have these presets on your account. And if I click in, you'll have different metrics for each setting. And what's happening is a lot of people are trading with the default amounts, which can be super high, and you're losing money when you make trades. Now, how is that happening exactly? So the way the buy and the sell fees work are these are fees that you will pay every time you enter a trade, and every time you exit, you'll also pay that fee on the sell. So if your fees are, for example, $1 to enter and $1 to exit, that means you're paying $1 to go in on a trade and you're paying $1 to come out of a trade. So every time you're trading, you're paying that fee no matter what. So if you made a trade and you made $2 profit, by the time you actually go in and come back out, you've actually made nothing. So you'll probably lose money on that trade. And depending on your fees, if they're even higher, you can lose more money. So when you think you've made $20 or $50 and you sell, your balance won't actually go up how much you see on the screen that you've sold because your fees then are coming out of the amount. And it's happening a lot every time I go into a Discord, multiple different Discords, the Potion Discord, my own Discord. It's a huge question that people have is the settings that they should have. So what I recommend is go to your Axiom, go to your buy settings. You can follow along. These are mine. At the moment, you'll see down here you have a recommended buy and a bribe. At the moment, with the volume that's on Axiom and just trading meme coins on Pump Fun in general and all kind of chains, the fees are not as much as they used to be. So you can actually enter and exit usually with no fee. So you can have one of these just strictly set to zero. So your first preset could be zero. I usually keep the slippage around 30%. Slippage means how much of a percentage you're willing to allow the price to fluctuate. So if it goes up 30% or it comes down 30%, that's how much I'm willing to allow the transaction to confirm. Now, sometimes what can happen is if this chart is moving really, really fast, if it goes above 30%, you're not going to actually make the transaction happen. So your trade isn't going to go through. And what's worse is when you're selling, if you have a slippage that's super low and the price drops or the price is dropping because people are selling, a huge issue people have is that they can't exit a trade. And there's no worse feeling. It's happened to me multiple times where you'll see a trade go all the way up. You start trying to sell and other people are selling on top of you and you just simply can't exit because your slippage is too low. So make sure you have presets that have a slippage that's high. So if you want to copy mine, mine are just as simple as on my preset one, I use 0.002 like this. I use the same for the bribe. And my trades go through pretty fine at the moment. If you are in a if there's a lot of volume, if the market is really busy, make sure to revisit your presets and change these. But if we have a look at the buy ones, I have 30%, I have 40% with a priority of this. My preset three is 50%. So I'm increasing the slippage. Now, if I was trading and I wanted to go into this coin, all I need to do once I have instant trade turned on is all I have to do is click between them and then I can click buy, choose the amount I want to purchase. It has all of your metrics just below where you're actually purchasing. So you can review exactly how much you're going to spend. If it shows up as yellow or red, it means that it's not the recommended amount. So this is actually below the recommended one. So take a look at that. This will still activate. You don't always need to use the recommended one. And just be sure to make sure you know what your actual settings are when it comes to the buy and the sell. So these are my buy ones again 30%, 40%, 50%. And on my sell, I have 20%, 30%, 50%. So you can even have this as 100% with no fee if you just want to exit a trade. I recommend that as your preset tree. that would mean that no matter what the slippage is and no matter what happens with the trade, you will exit. Now that's kind of a ultimatum or a last choice or a last option if you're in a super big runner or you're in something where a lot of people are selling at the same time. I would use this one to just exit at any stage, because if not, what's going to happen is your transactions are just going to keep failing, 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 and you won't get out of the trade. And that's much worse than sitting in the trade and round tripping all the way down to zero. So this video is pretty simple. It just goes through the trade settings, and it's something that I think a lot of people are having issues with. So hopefully this cleared up why you might be making trades and you're not actually making as much money as you think you are when you sell or when you go into a trade, and kind of clear up those kind of misconceptions when it comes to actually trading and where the profit is coming from. Now, a setting that's here I'll quickly go into is the auto fee. You can turn on auto fee if you want. It's basically going to fluctuate between the fee, and you can set it to something as low as 0.005. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to go to what it thinks is the recommended one. Now, this is good if you want to have it fluctuate and you want to have it work in the background to figure out those numbers and you don't manually want to do it. And the fact that you can set a max is pretty good. So you can leave auto fee on for different presets. You can turn it off, but you can set a max fee. So it is really good to make sure that you don't go above a bribe or an amount that you want to spend. And that's super important when you have a really small portfolio, because if you set this to zero point 0.1, it means it's going to spend close to your max fee. So this is way above what I had it set to. This trade will go through and it will go through just as much as something with zero fee, 0.001 fee. So make sure you're always reviewing and testing the fees that you're spending. And as I said, you can just copy mine. So hopefully that cleared it up. Hopefully that was something easy to follow. If you have questions about the fees or anything that you want to follow up on, feel free to join the Discord down below. You can ask me any questions on the Discord and I'll answer in real time, or just leave them in a comment down below. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.